time it is.
Y no te crea, dice Henry Stone, Robert Durant son más duras que la brea. Primera ronda te noqueo como Herrera. Primera ronda te noqueo como Herrera. Este soldado está preparado para la guerra. Este soldado está preparado para la guerra.
What is going on, my family? Your boy Demetrius is back, and here once again we are going to talk about Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. I'm going to need y'all to come on in, smash the like, hit the subscribe, smash the hype button, all that good stuff. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And here we are going to talk about some bold thoughts and bold predictions when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. But before we get into that, one thing that I'm going to have to do before I start anything is that I will have to say a big thank you to the great Yu Suzuki. If y'all don't know who Yu Suzuki is by now, Yu Suzuki is the man behind the legend. He is the man that created Virtua Fighter as a whole. He is also the man that basically revolutionized the entire gaming genre, as well as revolutionizing fighting games to go 3D and other genres such as the open world genre, the shooting genre, and so. Yu Suzuki is the man. He is the greatest video game creator, producer, director of all time. There is just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if it wasn't for this man, none of this shit right now would be possible when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, and even Tekken. You feel what I'm saying? Without this man, we wouldn't have none of this shit. So I have to give a great thank you to the great Yu Suzuki for making this all possible. And like I said, if it wasn't for this man, we would not be here experiencing this wonderful masterpiece that is Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads right now. I absolutely love this guy. I really do. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, it's been almost a week now. Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, like I said, it is just setting the internet on fire right now. A breath of fresh air. A lot of great things going on. You know, they basically showed what was going on when it comes to the story mode. They've revealed the 4 new characters. You know, we know about Cialo, we know about Stella. Then there's 2 other characters. We don't know their names as of yet, but those 2 new characters have been revealed. There's also a thing where there's going to be 16 playable characters in the base roster when the game gets released. So basically right there, it's still a lot of characters that need to be revealed when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about when it comes to this video. Like, what's really going to happen next? Y'all feel what I'm saying? But first, I want to talk about Yamada-san for a minute, because, you know, we're always intrigued when Harada says something on Twitter or asks questions or stuff like that. We don't give enough credit to other creators such as Yamada-san for doing what he is doing. And, you know, right now, Yamada-san has been getting a lot of recognition. He has been getting a lot of acclaim, and rightfully so. This man has done a phenomenal job when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, and he's going to continue to do a phenomenal job. And one of the things that I like that this man is doing is he is opening to asking questions. He's been asking questions on Twitter, and the feedback has just been great. You feel what I'm saying? The way that he has answered questions, it just makes us even more exciting when it comes to the future of Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. So I do want to talk about Yamada real quick, and one of the tweets that he had made earlier this week involving Virtua Fighter 6 and Yu Suzuki. And I want to read that tweet out right now, because this tweet right here, this tweet almost brung a tear to my eye. It really did. And this is what the tweet says. When I first came up with the concept for this game, I had the chance to present it to Yu Suzuki. I was honestly so nervous. He was already a legend when I joined the company. When he praised the concept, I was truly happy for the moment, and I felt like a rookie from the past 20 years ago all over again. So that is what Yamada-san had to say when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 and when it comes to Yu Suzuki. And like I said, you know, if it wasn't for Yu Suzuki, you know, this would never be possible. And the fact that, you know, Yamada-san had presented this to Yu Suzuki, and basically, you know, Yu Suzuki letting him get the green light and making this project, man, it almost brung a tear to my eye. And it just lets you know right there the respect that Yu Suzuki has in the gaming genre. It's just unmatched. It's just absolutely unmatched. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, thank you, Yu Suzuki, for giving Yamada-san this opportunity to make Virtua Fighter the dream that Yu Suzuki always wanted to be, and that's what it is shaping up to be. So once again, shout out to Yamada-san. And also too, Yamada-san actually tweeted that he had just came back from Japan off of a trip, and he said that he needed some rest. And you know, and I just told him, you know, go ahead, get your rest, Take your time. We will be patient. You feel what I'm saying? What they have revealed over the past week is more than enough to keep us patient, if you know, for the next couple of months. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna go a little bit deeper into that, and like I said, I want to talk about what could possibly happen next when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6. So we already know Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, the 4 new characters. So when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, we already know the 4 new characters: Cialo, Stella, and the 2 other new characters. You feel what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people were saying that, you know, they needed to unveil more new characters, and they might do it. They might reveal more new characters, maybe 2 new characters or whatever. But you know, there's something I want to say about that. When it comes to Virtua Fighter, historically, every time that there was a Virtua Fighter sequel, Virtua Fighter always gave us 2 new characters. You know, Virtua Fighter 2, they gave us Chun-Li and Leon. Virtua Fighter 3, it was Taka and Aoi. Virtua Fighter 4, it was Lei Fei and Vanessa. And then, of course, Evolution gave us Brad, gave us Go. Virtua Fighter 5 gave us L-Blaze and Eileen. And of course, Virtua Fighter 5R and Final Showdown gave us Jin Kujo and Taka. Taka got taken out, and then he came back, and he was like the new character when it comes to Final Showdown. So, you know, historically, the Virtua Fighter games have always given us 2 new characters every sequel. Now they're giving us 4. So that's automatically an upgrade right there when it comes to Virtua Fighter sequels, because they've always given us 2, now they're giving us 4. They may give us more, but I just wanted to answer that question because a lot of people are like, well, Virtua Fighter needs to reveal more new characters when they've already revealed 4 new characters. That's 2 more than they historically always reveal. So that's an upgrade right there. And I'm glad they made it 4 characters. And like I said, it could be some more characters because it says it's 16 characters that are going to be playable when the game is released. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what happens when it comes to possibly new characters. They're not saying too much about DLC characters, and you know, that's way far down the road. We don't even need to worry about that right now. We just need to worry about what's in front of us right now. And like I said, 4 new characters, 16 playable characters. Like I said, there's a lot of characters that need to be revealed, and that goes to my next point. I think what's going to happen now is that, you know, they're probably going to start revealing characters one by one, maybe every couple of months or so. That'd be great. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe have character reveal trailers and stuff like that. I can see that happening. They gave us a big glimpse of what's going to happen with the story mode. But I also want to say this. They have not really shown a lot of things when it comes to the actual game, the actual fighting. You feel what I'm saying? We've seen the story mode, but we haven't seen fighting backgrounds or anything like that. So we still got a lot to see. There's still a lot of excitement right now. And like I said, what I think that they're going to do, they're going to start revealing characters, and then on side of that, I think we're going to start seeing fighting stages. We're going to start seeing other things like that, because like I said, man, this game is going to be huge. It's going to be a lot going on in this game. I really do like the speed and the pace that RGG Studios is going with when it comes to revealing things and revealing information about the game. I really do like the speed. I like the pace. They should keep it like this. They should not fold into demands and be like, okay, we need this character, we need this character, we need to see this. No, I like what they're doing right now. I really do. I like what they're doing. Also, too, we see how great the music is. So, you know, like I said, with the stages, they can reveal the background music for the stages. This is a lot going on. And even on Twitter, I had asked Yamada-san, you know, what's going to happen with game modes. You feel what I'm saying? So we don't even know how many game modes that they're going to be in the game. So it's just a lot that they can do. I don't really know what order that they're going to do it, but however they're going to do it, you know, we're going to be ready for it. And like I said, I think first and foremost, they're going to start with, you know, revealing more characters. Because, you know, if you really think about it and pay attention to what's going on, there's been a lot of Easter eggs out there when it comes to the characters in Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. And I really do think RGG Studios is really going to start opening that door up and start revealing a lot of these characters. Y'all feel what I'm saying? I actually asked Yamada-san in a tweet about the arcade mode when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, because historically when it comes to the arcade mode in Virtua Fighter games, the arcade modes never had endings, you know. And I asked Yamada, is there any possible way that the arcade mode, once we beat the arcade mode, are the characters going to have their own cinematic endings, whether it be canon or non-canon? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Kind of like how they do in the Mortal Kombat games. He hasn't gotten back to me on that yet, but I am expecting an answer from him, or maybe, you know, they're not far along in the development to ask that. But that is one of the things that I have been wondering about. You know, we're going to get a story mode in itself, but when it comes to the arcade ladder mode, are the characters going to have their own, you know, endings at the end of the arcade ladder mode? So that was just something that I was really thinking about. He hasn't said anything yet, but if they add that in Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, that'd be great also, because historically that's what people have been wanting when it comes to Virtua Fighter games. Endings at the end of the arcade ladders. You feel what I'm saying? If they can make that happen, that'd be great. Another thing that I could see happening in the near future is basically character backstories. You know what I'm saying? We know a little bit. We know a little bit about Cialo. We know a little bit about Stella. But like I said, with the two new characters, we don't know too much. We don't know too much about Akira either, or Pi, or what they're doing. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I said, there are a lot of Easter eggs out there, but we just don't know what's going on with the characters. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm expecting, you know, them to reveal the backstory of these characters on why Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads is happening right now. Like I said, they've already mentioned the Chinese Mafia, so I think that's one big connection right there. When it comes to J6, it's really kind of hard to say. Unless J6 is that Chinese Mafia, you feel what I'm saying? It makes total sense. But when it comes to J6, we really don't even know, because yeah, J6 is a very huge part of the Virtua Fighter story. It has been ever since day one. So like I said, they may have retconned it. J6 may be this Chinese Mafia, or the Chinese Mafia just might be an organization in combination with J6. We just don't know. But like I said, when it comes to backstory, I am really anticipating on the backstory when it comes to a lot of these characters, because like I said, man, I'm so excited right now, so pumped up. I really want to know. I am so hungry to know about these characters' backstories, what's going on with the Chinese Mafia, J6, what's the connection there. And like I said, I don't know the order, but whenever we get this information, I'm telling you, man, people are going to be all over it, because it's really exciting right now. And I do want to say this. This is one of the main things that Virtua Fighter needed. I know a lot of people in the Virtua Fighter community kind of argued that we didn't need a story, you know, a physical story. Yes, we did. And look what's happening right now. People haven't even played the game yet. We haven't gotten our hands on the game, and people are already excited about the story. That is what needed to happen right now. And also, too, the aggressiveness when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. That was something that also needed to happen. You know, shout out to my homeboy Black Star, the best Sarah player in North America. I know Black Star tweeted something like a few days ago. He said he wanted the game to cut down on the cussing. And I told Black Star, no. They need to double down on it. Because guess what? We're in North America. What do North Americans love? Violence, sex, and cussing. That's what North Americans love. And RGG Studios is probably the best at that. We've seen that with the Yakuza games, how aggressive and violent they can be. And that works well with Virtua Fighter, and that's why a lot of other people are into it right now. I'm being all the way real. A lot of people may not like what I'm saying right now, but they need to double down on the cussing. The way that they have the females, I like that too. The females are not overly sexualized, but the appeal, the sexual appeal of the females is there. I like that too. I like what they're doing right now. But yeah, when it comes to the aggressiveness of the game, like the cussing, the violence, and stuff like that, I love it. It's perfect for Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter needs this. This is like the upgrade of sticking with the times. They need to do it. And like I said, I hope they double down on it. I hope we see more of that aggression when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads and future reveals. And one of the final things that I'm hoping that they'll start talking about when it comes to the gameplay is the systems. You know what I'm saying? There's clearly some new systems that are being incorporated in Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads, and I hope they start talking about that more. Now, in the showcase, they did. But I think, you know, they need to start talking about that more, so a lot of us Virtua Fighter veterans can kind of, you know, get that sneak peek on what to look for, because we can start training before we even get our hands on it when it comes to Virtua Fighter and when it comes to this new system that they have involved in Virtua Fighter 6 mentally. You feel what I'm saying? Like they showed it when Wolf basically hit Cialo with the low drop kick. You know, the legs start flashing up. That clearly means something. You know what I'm saying? I know they said something like, you know, if you focus on one part of the body, the character will lose more health or something like that. So, you know, it's like the more characters that they reveal, the more that they should talk about that. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of players can get the bigger idea on how we need to approach the game and what we need to do as far as, you know, dominating or getting an advantage over our opponent. You feel what I'm saying? So one of the things about Virtua Fighter that I love about it is the reason why it's my most favorite video game of all time. It's a mental test as well as a physical test. In all of the Virtua Fighter games, it's always been a mental test where you have to have a strategy mentally to get an edge on your opponent. So for the people that don't know, when it comes to Virtua Fighter 5, Virtua Fighter 5 had a weight class system. Basically, you know, if you had a character like Wolf, Jeffrey, or Taka, and you got a character like Lau, you would have to modify your game and your combos off of the weight of that character. And it's the same thing with lighter characters such as L-Blaze and Eileen. They were lighter characters, so you could perform more max damage combos on those characters. And of course, those characters take a lot of damage because they were lighter. Now, I don't know if they're going to have the weight system in Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. Me personally, I think they could go ahead and get rid of that weight system. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, it was something that was really exclusive to Virtua Fighter 5, so they can go ahead and get rid of that. I'm not bothered if they take that out. At the same time, if they keep it in, that's cool too. But from what it looks like, I don't think they're going to have that weight class system in because, like I said, there's a new system in that I really want to know more about. Like I said, it's a more cinematic system that's going on because when the character gets hit, you can just tell there's an extra few seconds right there, and who knows what you can do. You know, we don't know what the plus minus is on block as of yet. So like I said, man, when it comes to the new system that they have in place when it comes to Crossroads, I'm eager to learn about that. I'm just so hungry to learn about so much more when it comes to this game. And like I said, hopefully in the near future, you know, they start revealing things more consistently, like revealing character trailers, system information, more story information on play modes. Are we going to have team battle? Are we going to have a gallery mode or something like that? You feel what I'm saying? You know, gallery modes kind of like, you know, pictures and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? So there's still a lot that we haven't seen, and there's still a lot to be excited for when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads. And, you know, that's what I wanted to come on here and talk about. Nothing really major, just basically giving some bold thoughts and bold predictions on what's going on now and what could happen next. So now, you know, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. What are y'all bold predictions when it comes to Virtua Fighter 6 Crossroads? Do you think they're going to start revealing characters, start talking more about the gameplay and the system? Let me know in the comment section below. We could definitely get a conversation started. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for the hottest Virtua Fighter action on the internet, period. And as I keep on saying, when it comes to Virtua Fighter, I am still the top dog when it comes to VF action and content on the internet, period. My name is Demetrius. I will get back at you in the next video. God bless. Stay safe. Patience is a virtue. I'm out. Peace.